hello. Oh, I'm blown out there. Let's fix that. There we go. That's a bit more normal looking. Let me sweat this last little bit. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay. We are live, and we are doing a live stream today of my latest game in development, which is called Mimic. If you haven't caught up with any of the development of Mimic, we'll do a brief rundown, and then I'm going to go through and showcase a few things that have been developing in Mimic over the past month or so. It's been since I last showed it off. Yeah, so the idea of these streams is to give you a bit of background behind the scenes and explain some of the thought process behind it. Also get your input on some of this too. So please do leave comments into chat, and I can check them out and see basically what you think and which direction we're going in and so on. Now, one of the big things I want to do with this game coming soon is at the moment I've been for the past X amount of months, I've been developing the environment, the level of the main game, and the big thing I want to try and do is get people testing out this environment and for performance. And so I'll be giving it to Patreon members for testing purposes, and there'll be like like a reporting thing as well in it. So that'll be in the very near future. Is that performance testing? I want to make sure that we're getting a good performance out of this on the majority of machines. It's still going to be a high performing game. They still need a lot of power, but we don't want to exclude everyone that hasn't got a 40 series card, for example. But we'll see how that goes when it comes up. I'm just waiting for the ship map to load up so I can talk you through some of the changes that happened. But hopefully everyone's doing okay. Hello, Kiwi. How you doing? On a Coke Zero tonight. Trying to cut down some calories here and there and everywhere. So, come on. The problem is this map, it takes ages to load. But we'll, it's almost there. Let's turn this down a bit in my head. So, Mimic. For those who haven't seen it before, Mimic is a online multiplayer survival horror game. The best way to describe it is think of if you had Among Us meets Alien Isolation, Dead Space type vibes. So aboard the ship there are 5 of you. Currently there's 5. We'll see how playtesting plays out. 3 of which are human, like clear crew members. One's a Mimic, which is an alien creature that looks human, and you don't want to let off the ship. And then you've got the agent, and the agent is a double agent who is trying to sabotage the mission, trying to get all the evidence for themselves, have secret objectives, and get off the ship on their own. For full rundown of how entire game works, check out previous live streams. We've gone through a lot more detail there. I don't want to go through it every single time we do it, otherwise we'll spend the whole hour just talking about what the game is. But yeah, think of it like Among Us, but with scary vibes. We're here now. Let me just it's compiling some shaders. Looks like some shaders got cleared after wait for the shaders to kick in. Yeah, so I've been working on the map because I had a block out version of the map done, and then I wanted to do extra stuff with the map because I realized that if doing a horror type of game, I really want to focus on the environment being like another character in the game. So it's another thing that's there to try and scare you. It's there to try and make you tense. It's another character in the game. Yeah, so thought it's important to try and develop it. Oh, puppy. And also try some unique things with the environment that we don't normally see in these sort of horror games, especially these indie horror games. So trying out some new things in there. Hi, Glenn. Hi, Light. Hi, Light. Elida. I can't know if it's an L or an I. Hello, yo, to you as well. Just waiting for the shaders to finish kicking in. There's the sun. Some blood decals. So the texture streaming pool will probably exceed its amount whilst we're in here, but that's fine. We'll just deal with that as it comes. So I'm trying to think what was the last thing you guys all saw. It's probably this environment, maybe. possibly, I don't know. But we'll come back to. I don't know if did I show you guys the greenhouse area? That's kind of cool looking. So if I change to lit mode, so here we've got this greenhouse where the plants are and kind of overgrown a bit. We've got some like local volumetric shading. I did a video, a how-to on my Patreon of how I did this, to showcase how to do like low hanging fog like this. I thought that was kind of cool. Suited the scene quite well. So most of the map is done. There's a couple of rooms left to do. Like one such thing is like these air ducts. These aren't done yet. But yeah. But since then, what else have we done? We've done also the hangar bay. This I feel like needs a bit more work done to it. But this is the end goal, to try and get off the ship this way. And you can look through here and you can see the control room, which is another room you have in here. This is where you have to go to get your objectives. And so your objectives appear on these screens here. So like almost like pre-flight checks, these are going to happen up there. And so they'll appear like red and green and instructions telling you what needs to be done. It could be like refuel the ship, fix the doors, fix the landing gear, whatever. Whatever task you may get, they'll appear up here. And so you have to come in here and check on the status of them. And once they're all done, you can then push a button, which will probably be around about here, to initiate launch of the thing. Yeah, and that will then alert the whole station that, hey, the ship's about to launch, and you can either abort it or get off on the ship and go after 30 seconds. Okay. So yeah, that's that bit there. We've got this little area here, and this, what I mentioned in previous episodes of this, is I wanted to make sure the ship felt bigger than it was. So I thought about putting like this little stairway in here, which is blocked off and destroyed, that leads nowhere, just to indicate that the ship is actually probably bigger than it actually appears. So yeah, I'm quite trying to do a few things like that. What else new for you guys? I don't know if you guys were here for last time for the medical scene. This is the med bay. Yeah, experimenting with a few dead bodies and how to place them in here. They're all unclothed, but I wanted to experiment with like how to place them. Yeah, so here's that scene there, and we've got, what else is probably new for you? Let me go to unlit so I can see a bit better. As you can see, like this bit hasn't been done yet. Let's go over here. So there's engineering bay. Again, I can't remember if I showed you this last time. It's been a while. But this is where the robots are built and maintained and engineered and like, stuff like that. So we've got a load of body parts of like the androids. And I wanted this room to feel like unsettling, be surrounded by these giant robots that are trying to kill you, but these ones are deactivated. And that these would be like the pads you have to pick up. These little pads here give you like keys and things. Still, yeah. And I think that's it for new rooms. I think the rest have not finished yet, so this one hasn't been done yet. Oh, there's one more room to do. That's the latest room I've done. The latest room I did was this one. This is the warehouse. So here we've got a fire that's broken out amongst these containers, and if I go to unlit mode, you can see the layout of this room a bit better. So you can see in here we've got this circular pattern. I'm trying to put in that circular pattern in a lot of these bigger rooms, so you can evade like the android, mimic whoever is chasing you, and hide a bit better. So we have got these circular patterns in here. So like you got that route round that way, or you got this route round this way, indicating up here, and then go through up there. Okay. And one thing I've been working on that looks really nice is the footsteps of the character. I don't know if this will come through clearly on the stream, but if I play from here, and I'll mute Spotify briefly. Okay, so this is the warehouse room. As you see, you've got like a flashlight on your character. I don't know if that's coming in too loud. Hold on. Yeah, let's tone that down a bit. Hang on. I don't know, is that too loud or is that alright for you guys? I don't know. But here we've got some like the fire broken out. So as you can see, we've got this sort of like walking, doom, doom, doom steps. Yeah, and we've got a nice smooth crouching motion. I'll talk about how I did that in a second. So here we've got this sprint mechanic I can hold down. I'll talk a bit more about that in a second as well. The reactor core. Oh. And this is one of the guys that can be chasing around the map. So we'll be giving away a demo of this to Patreon members to playtest, because I want to test for like performance on different machines. Obviously, I can only test on my machine. I don't have the resources to test on loads of different machines and their configurations. So we'll be doing that at some point in the future and giving it out to people to playtest. There was a gap here, by the way. I forgot I took out jump, so I'm gonna fall down this gap. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, we've got a few things like that set up. Now, there'll be loads of other cool things I've mentioned before, but I think I mentioned before. So we're also going to have things called mementos. So alongside the main objective, which is to get off the ship and repair the ship and get off the ship before time runs out. Mementos are going to be randomized things that each player will find amongst the map. And these are collectibles that people can find. And these would be like short stories, pictures of loved ones, things like that, that you'd have like diary entries that you would normally find in like a horror game or any sort of adventure game. So we're going to have these around the map. And these are going to actually be generated by the Patreon and YouTube members who are supporting the channel and supporting the game. So we're going to get you guys to submit your own sort of diary entries as if you're a member of the ship and talk about your experiences on the ship and what your job is. And we'll put them in the game. And we'll work with you to make sure it's all okay and doesn't break the style of it or anything like that. But yeah, so you will have an input as well into these mementos and be able to collect them in the game, and you get bonus XP if you find all like your mementos and so on, and they'll be all hidden around the map. There's an extra thing to look out for when you're looking for these things. Now I mentioned the sprint mechanic. So the sprint mechanic has got 3 bars on it. So let me go back to our dev map. Hold on, which is the what is it? This is really messy, by the way. This needs to be tidied up. Where the hell did I put it? In first person. There you go. So go to the first person dev map I've been working on. So if I showcase this bit, we'll wait for this to fix its shaders. So a few things here I wanted to showcase. This is where we're testing out the interactive elements. So as I mentioned, we've got a crouch, which is smooth, and we've got the walking footsteps type thing. So I'll talk about how that's working. So that is done by taking the player character over here. There we go. And on the player character, what I've done is all I've done is simply animated the body and hidden the body and attached the camera to the body. So this mesh is animating and this camera's attached to the head. So as they walk, the head naturally will bop up and down when they do that stuff. And that also works the same for crouching. So I made this invisible mesh animate, and then when they crouch, the head will go down with it, making it a nice smooth transition for that crouching mechanic, which we can see here. Yeah, so I'm just playing a montage on that animation, on that mesh, and then doing hide, unhide, and it makes it a lot easier for me to hide and make it look like I'm hiding underneath tables and things like that really well. Okay, so that's simply how I did that. That's really simple, worked a treat. I like it a lot. And what works really well with that is I can just then throw the character about with other animations, and the head will go with it and disorient me. Now let's talk about the sprint mechanic. So the sprint mechanic is a bit unique. So if I hold down shift, I can sprint, and you see the sprint bar comes up. And you see it's made in like 3 segments. We've got a long segment and then 2 shorter segments. And one segment is red. So what happens is you start off all 3 segments, the long one and 2 short ones. When you get caught by the android and or mimic, you get injured. So when you get away from them, you get injured and you'll lose one of your stamina bars. So the stamina bar acts like a health bar as well. What that means is that when you're injured, you have less stamina to run around. So you can't run for as long. We'll probably maybe put a limp in the animation as well, so it looks like you're limping a little bit. So yeah, you're going to get hit 2 times before you're dead, basically. Which I thought was quite a cool way of doing it. We'll see how it plays out, obviously, in action. But and I want to go for this simplified UI, this like very minimalistic, simplified look of like its clean design. So it only appears when I'm holding down shift and let go, and it recharges, and when it's finished recharging, it disappears. Now, one of the things I asked the other day, people, is like mechanics like that are very unique to Mimic. Like they're not that frequent. Would you like a tutorial video explain how I made that, for example? Would you think that'd be beneficial? Do you want to see stuff like that? Let me know in the chat and comments if that's something you'd like to see. Alongside that, as well as many other mechanics we do in the game, such as, for example, the pick up and dropping of items. So these can be highlighted and picked up. So we've got different items you'd be picking up throughout the game. So we've got fire extinguisher, picked it up, and again, that's animated with the hands like that. Looks really nice. I haven't done the dropping bit yet, but we can pick up the power core, like a full one. And then I edited the material to make it have an empty one. So I can take that to a charger, get it charged up. And we've got a lead pipe as well, which we can use for defensive purposes. If we get hit, grabbed by something, we can just whack them with our lead pipe. Yeah, there'll be a few more other things in here too, that like other things you pick up. Like welders and plasma cutters, things like that. And also data pads. You can see over here we've got a data pad. We can collect a memento, and that's how I collect mementos. Computer screens will look like something like this, and you can look at it, and you can then hover your mouse over the top of it, and you can select these are buttons you can interact with. So you interact with it as an actual asset rather than a menu screen that comes on the screen here. And be like animated. Some of it's animated already. But yeah. So lots of cool little things to try out there. And all that is just a widget on top of a mesh. I don't like this mesh. I'm gonna try and find something else to use. But it's a rough little thing. Yeah, like Prey. Prey was a big inspiration for that sort of style. The reason why I wanted it this sort of style is that it felt more vulnerable like this, because you don't feel like you're paused. You feel like you're in the world still, like things still sneak up on you and hit you and attack you. And people can also look over your shoulder and see what you're doing. And yeah, I thought that'd be pretty neat to try and do. It's obviously harder work, more work to do, but I think the effect would be worth it. I think it'd be a lot neater to try and do something like that. So yeah, we'll make our full basic operating system looking like this. and we do more pickups and objects like this. Now the pickup objects handle uniquely because what they do is there's two types. There's the one you pick up and there's the one that you drop in the world. The reason why there's two separate objects between like the fire extinguisher, for example, that is different from this. Yeah, that the one on the floor was different from this one. The reason why is because the root of the objects and meshes were in different places. And so I wanted to be able to place it easily in the world, but also I want to be able to pick it up and make it aligned perfectly with every single one. So I decided just to make two versions. We've got a held version and a dropped version, and you'll be able to drop that on the floor. But yeah, and you'll be able to use the fire extinguisher to put out fires that get spawned in by the solar flares that happen. Which we can start working on actually today. Actually, we can try and make a solar flare. But yeah, it's all looking pretty good. I'm thinking. We've got, and I think if we last time we were here, go back to the map. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to load up this time. Yep, there you go. Last time we were messing about with the idea of the mimic and what they should look like. So I went over here. We had this sort of design come up. The idea of this sort of gangly mess of a character. Obviously, it won't be naked, but we've got some frosty bits with the cryo. This hasn't changed really. This is still the same. I still got to do sound effects for the footsteps. I like this bit. I don't know why. I really do like this bit. Electrical. Did I make the models? No. I'm not an artist. This is a variety of packs all brought together, bashed together to make it work. So yeah, looking about that. You're really good at painting. Thank you. Okay, so let's try and do a solar flare. So the whole idea of the solar flare is I wanted an environmental thing to add a little bit of chaos into the map. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, the ship is flying towards our local star, and on a collision course with it, and as you get closer, the solar flares will intensify and rock the ship about, break things, have power fluctuations, all those various things. Now, power isn't been made into the game yet. That will be at some point in the future soon. I'll be playing that as well, turning some items into nanite. I think I might be turning all of it to nanite. We'll see how Lumen prefers. I think Lumen is better with nanite, but we'll see how it goes with performance testing. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to this towards the sun, and we've got a solar flare to sort of trigger this and rock the ship about. So I'm just going to go back to on it. Makes it a bit easier to navigate. So we're going to go into the maps folder here. I'm just going to make in the ships folder. We're going to make a mechanic in here, and this would be an environmental actor. So env solar flare, and the reason why I'm doing it as an env solar flare is because in the future maybe we'll have more maps and they have their own environmental effects. So this one will be a solar flare. Okay, so the solar flare is going to use a couple of things. First of all, a camera shake to indicate like the rocking of a ship, bit, sound, and also some sort of visual effect. I don't know what that would be yet. Maybe the whole area gets flashed. I don't know. But definitely a shaking. So let's do the shaking bit. So to do this, I'm gonna make actually a new folder for this. Solar flare, and just chuck that into there. Okay, and in here we're going to create a new camera shake effect. So I'm going to go into, I don't think you can do it anywhere down here, so just double check up here. Shake. And we'll get camera shake modifier. Camera modifier. Or actually, no, we'll do camera shake base. We'll do that one. We'll do solar flare shake. And these are pretty simple. All you got to do is on the right hand side, you just go to root shape pattern and change it to what one you want to do. So you got composite, which is combining a couple together. Perlin noise, if you want it completely random, that's a good one to do. Sequence, if you want to do it in a sequence, and a wave oscillator, if you want to do like a sine wave or whatever, yeah, you can do that. So we're going to have a Perlin noise, maybe a composite actually. We'll start with Perlin noise and see how it goes. So with this, we're just going to like shake it like this, okay, randomly. So we've got location and we've got rotation shaking. So location amplitude multiplier 1, location frequency multiplier 1, and here we've got different directions we want to shake it in. I don't think I want to shake maybe rotation only. Let's try just rotation only and see how that looks. So rotation amplitude multiplier. This is how much it's going to rotate by. So I say put in like 10, for example. Frequency I'll leave as 1, and we'll just see what that looks like. Okay. So solar flare, I'm just going to put on here, and we'll do shake, and we'll do play world camera shake, and we're going to choose our solar flare shake. The epicenter of it, we'll get play as the player's location. Get player character, and because it's multiplayer, that will just get whoever's like your local position. So everyone should feel it the same way. Location, actor. Um, we'll leave those alone. Right. And we'll give it a lifespan. We'll go class defaults, type in lifespan, and change that to 3 seconds. Okay, so it should shake for 3 seconds when I spawn it in. And to spawn it in right now, I'm just going to make it as a button push, so it's easier for me to test. Go to here, and what can I use? I'll just use one key. So spawn actor from class, and I'm going to choose our solar flare, and we'll spawn it at our transform. Okay, right, let's see how that plays. Okay, I'm in here, hit 1. Nothing. Let me just double check that was actually... I'm not going to touch the mouse. No, nothing. Why is it not running? It's still spawning in. I can see the outline count was going up, so I believe that's fine. Hello, when you want to finish your game project and when will it be for publishing? So it'll be, I don't know when it'll be finished. We're taking our time with it. It is going to be published on Epic Store, hopefully, Steam, and I'm also going to try and get on PlayStation and Xbox. So a bit of work to do there, but that's the idea to try and get to. Right, let's figure out why this is not shaking. Amplitude. Yeah, it should be fine like that. We'll do that as well, but We'll change this up as well. See if that does. I can't remember what that one does. No. You need to put something in the out radius. Okay. Oh no, back. We'll put in. You don't have to put bar because we're going to spawn it per player, so 500 be fine. There we go. Okay, so I'm thinking I don't want it to be like instant. I want it to be like a rumbling thing. So it's like an earthquake. It builds up and then gets worse and dies down. So I wonder if we can make this composite. So if I do one child of here and Perlin noise and make it rotate, do 5 there. And then do another one with the wave oscillator. And we'll do rotation amplitude. No. We'll do, I don't think that'll work like that. Go back. Timing, duration, blend-in time. There we go. We'll mess about with this. So duration 1 second. We'll do blend-in time of. We'll do duration of. Yeah, 1 second is fine actually. We'll do 0.5. Oh, 0.5, 0.5. And we'll do 1.2 there. So it's more blending in than anything. Yeah. Now, let's see if we can change that about. So duration-wise, I'll change 3. I'm going to change the blending time to be 1 point... Actually, I'll do 2. So it's a long build-up and then violent end to stop. Yeah. I think that looks more, quote-unquote, natural. So it's meant to be like an earthquake. Okay. I think maybe 10 might be too violent. Let's try turning that down a bit. Rotation here. We'll change that down to like 5. And I think we'll turn down the frequency to 5 as well. Okay. Yeah, combine that with like a like storm effect. I've got some sound effects in here, so let's see if we can find some we can use. Let's go for where are they? Ultimate sound effects. I want some sort of rumble sound, I guess. Rumble. No. What have we got in here? Sci-fi ambiances. I swear I had one in here that I remember finding ages ago. I cannot remember where the hell it was. Rain, haunted, hypnosis, otherwise, range trees, road trip, space travel. No. Yeah, you could do a slow camera shake, I guess. Yeah, you could do. I would also mess about with the input controls as well. So you can't walk in a straight line, you know. What's these? Nah, don't like that. Sci-fi battlefield. What we got in here? Nope. Scary space atmosphere. That's the same. Why is it all playing the same track? Blur, yeah, probably mess about with things like that. Yeah, that would be a good idea to do that. Maybe there's some sort of like explosion effect, like rumble. No. No. These are all going to be crap. I know they are. Okay, we have to find one. Let me go to this website that I use. Okay, so free sounds pretty okay. It's not the greatest, but it's got a lot of stuff on it. So we can do rumble. Ship will do. Large, low rumbling. Not too bad. No. So you have some random sounds in here. That's 20 minutes long. I want that. Rumble. That's not too bad. We can probably combine that with something. I'll tab that and see if there's something else we can use. Because something I did with the Android's footsteps was actually there's like 3 or 4 sound effects in there playing. I just combined them all together inside of a queue. Maybe a sound of an earthquake would be interesting to include. Hang on. Earthquake. No. 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 Just trying to. I think I know what I want. I want it to sound like metal. It's like shaking apart, like maybe a ship on re-entry might be a good sound to try and do. So if not, I'm gonna have to do some Foley work and just record some things. There are gonna be some Foley works in here, like we're gonna do some gory sound effects and things like that. No, no. Let's do a re-entry. No. No. Shaking metal. That might be useful to overlay with the other one. So include that on this. Yeah, I think that might work. We'll try that. I'm gonna try downloading these two and see how these work. Oh, it's MP3, damn it. That's fine. Let's convert it. That's a WAV. That's fine. MP3 to WAV converter, and we'll just chuck that into there. just drag that into there. Yep, there you go. Convert to WAV. Okay, so I'm going to put these two sound effects into Unreal here. Yeah, so these are all the parts that make up the footsteps of the robot. So download that. Yes, that one. And okay, so we've got that one. Right. So we can try combining these two into a single cue. So we're going to right click in here and create a new sound cue. And that would be solar flare cue. And open this up. And we're going to put in a couple of things here. We're going to do the two wave players first of all, one for each of these. So it'd be easier if I just drag them in like that. Like that. And this one. There you go. Right, so oh, I've got two in there. There you go. Right, so one was louder than the other one, wasn't it? Play node. Right, that one. Right, I want that one to be quieter. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that into a modulator, maybe. And volume min, we'll put that down to like 0.2 and volume max 0.3. And we'll combine these two together by cross. Do I want to crossfade? No, I'll just do mix. I'm using modulator as well to randomize a little bit about how it's going to sound. So if I go to mixer here, play node. Okay. So I want to turn it down a little bit, I think. We'll try a crossfade. No, we won't. We'll just mess about the modulator a bit more. 0.1, 0.15. Okay. Yep, okay. Right, we'll make this thing loop as well. So turn it to looping. And I want to envelope this as well. And envelope this sound more so than the other sound. So envelope means it's I can do like fade in, fade out type curves. So we can do on the volume curve here. We'll bring that down there. Bring that up here. And put another 2 points in. And put that as 3. And this one as 3.2. There you go. And this one we'll do as 0.2. No, we'll do 0.5 for that. No, that one was 2, wasn't it? We made a shaking. We'll line it up with the shaking. So that was 2, 3, 3.5. Okay, and we'll make that value up there, 1. Something like that. So let's see what that sounds like now. Yeah, okay, okay. Right, so we've got that looping around. I'm going to put this enveloper as well on here. Copy the same enveloper. And and I might change the pitch of this a little bit and bring it down a bit so it's a bit deeper sounding. So do 0.5, 0.6. That's not bad. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, so let's see what it looks like with the shake involved. So I'm back to my solar flare here. We're going to add audio to it. And audio, no, I don't want that though. It'll be, I'll just call it audio. And this will be the cue I want to use instead. So we'll be using solar flare cue. And we want this to just, we're not going to allow spatialization. We'll make it play for everyone the same, no matter what. And is it auto enabled? Auto activated, yeah. So let's see what that looks like in game, especially with the music overlaying it. I think maybe it needs going for longer, like the whole effect. Maybe. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let's try what it looks like when it's running a bit longer. So duration we'll do as 6. We'll double it. Blend time again, double it 0.41. You couldn't hear it. It might be too loud. Too turned down. All right, turned off too quickly. Hold on. Oh, because I've got a solar flare here. Lifespan. Hold on. Life to 6 as well. And we'll turn this up as well. In fact, I'll just cut out that envelope and just put that one in it. Okay. So hit 1. I think that's better. Yeah, that's not bad. And what we can do, we can set off other things on the ship to happen, like sparks and explosions to happen when this triggers. So they all trigger and bang, 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 bang. Whole ship gives the impression of it just like tearing itself apart. So what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to make a solar flare effect. So we're going to go in here, make another actor, and do solar flare effect. And we're going to add a Niagara system to this one. And I want to choose sparks. And I think there's like a sparks one we can use. Although I think these are repeating on loop. Yeah. That's fine. We'll make another one that doesn't loop. Oh, actually, there's a spark that I've got in my other room that I really like. Hold on. Let's go over there. Hi, Tom. Could you hear it yet, Rusty? Like, I can hear it. I don't know. Maybe the sliders maybe turned down on the streamer. I've got these sparks doing stuff. Wild sparks. Maybe they're too faint. Maybe. Okay, let's make another. Let's do another particle effect in here. It was faint, but you did hear something. Okay, it's probably just because I've got the thing hold turned down for the live stream, so you can still hear me. That's fine. Smart burst, we'll call it. So. Okay, so yeah, we're going to create an emitter in here. Oh, when it figures out what it's doing. And we'll do. I can actually keep one of these as they are. Actually, we want just a directional burst. We'll start off with that. Saves us a few steps. So yeah, when this happens, like the whole entire shit. What I'm going to do is going to search for all of these actions to trigger them all at the same time. So you'll and like trigger other things, maybe like dropping objects around the scene. Don't know. If it's ever going to do this. But yeah, I mean, as I said, we'll be passing out the demo to people to try in the near future for performance testing, and you can obviously feedback on things like the noise of it, if everything gets too loud, too quiet, whatever. Okay, so spawn burst instantaneous there. We'll change it to not loop. So loop behavior once. And duration would do shorter. Okay. That'll do. I'm not gonna mess about with it. So yeah, no, we're gonna change that then to spark burst. It does it once. And we'll say to not be active at the same at start. So go down here and auto activate, turn off. Okay. And we're gonna do custom event trigger effect. And that will tell the Nitro system in this one to activate. And reset. Okay. Yep, cool. Okay, so on the solar flare itself, over here, when we're playing the world camera shake, I'm also going to get all actors of class. And we are going to get the effect, solar flare effect. And for each one, we're going to do trigger effect. Now I might do this I might cache this bit on begin play so we don't get any lag as the solar flares happen. But for now, let's just see if that works. Oh, got to put them in the scene. But let's chuck a couple here. Solar flare effect. We'll put that there. Rotate that around. Put another one over here. Another one down here. That'll do for now. So we'll test that proper with more stuff later. So I've hit one. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Now let's make a little delay on them. So they don't all trigger at the same time. So we'll do trigger fact delay. We'll do random float in range. Go between 0.5 and 2. Okay. So yeah, I quite like that. Trigger again. And we can now do that on many different things as well. So like, for example, we could have a different effect. If I were to put in another one over here and change the Niagara effect here to explosion. Sure, I don't know what that is, but we'll see. There you go. It's that. We'll push play. So hit one. Yeah. So the idea is I can place these around the whole entire map, and then wherever you are, you're gonna see some effect of the solar flares happening. So, I mean, and if I wanted to make my life a little bit easier too, with the solar flares here, if I go edit the thing for this, I can go to the construction script and change what type I want this to be. So if I go in here, make a enum for this, and do e effect type, and we'll do a couple. We'll do spark explosion. Yeah, and there could be others we'll do later on. And on my solar flare effect, I can add that as a variable. So effect, and we'll do e effect type. I'm gonna make that editable. And on my construction script, I'm gonna drag that out and do a switch on effect. I'm now gonna drag in my Niagara effect and do set. Actually, we won't do switch. We'll just do set Niagara set system. Oh, what do they call it? Niagara system asset. Set asset. Set Niagara system asset. There you go. Why it does that? And then on the asset here, I can do select on it, plug in my effect, and now each of these are going to show different one I want to use. So I can do spark burst for that one, and this one will do explosion like that. Hit compile, save, and now it makes it super easy for me to change what I want it to be. So I can just drag in another effect here, solar flare effect, drag that there. I'm going to choose what I want to use, spark or explosion. We'll do that as an explosion. We'll do another one. Effect here, spark. Let's just turn it around. Like that. Do another explosion. Explosion. And so now, when I'm walking around the whole entire map, it will trigger here. Looking really nice. I quite like the look of that. Obviously, it hasn't got any sound effect on it. We have to put a sound effect on it. I think I actually have an explosion sound effect. Do I have a spark one though? Don't know. Let's have a look. Spark. Electric spark. No. 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 What about welding? Yes. Welding. Nah. I mean, I can go back to my free sound thing. Yoink. And let's take a look at if we've got sparks. Like a spark burst. That's what I look. That bit. Sparks. And if we're looking for spark burst, I'm looking for ones that are short. Like sparks explosion big. No, too much. No, not enough. No. 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 Call my ears. No. That'd be useful later on when I do the reactor core, maybe. I feel like a burst of sparks. That bit. Burst. Tell you what, I quite like that sound for the solar flare. I might grab that one. Yeah. No. No, no. Electrical short, maybe better than sparks. Yeah, yeah. Electrical short. Let's try that. Amp short circuit. No. No. Maybe one I have to like try and make myself, or Foley. What's this one? It's more electrical than anything, isn't it? Piano. Bug zapper. No. Mm, no. Nah. Nope. I like that sound effect though. That's quite cool for when we have power cuts. I don't know. I'll just put in this explosion one in for now. So I'm going to edit the solar flare effect here to have a sound component to it as well. So audio, and we'll do drag that out. Set audio as a no, what do they call it? Set sound. If you don't know what the variable is going to be called, by the way, the variable's name is here. It's down in the details panel. So if you see it in here, that's what it's called in here. Set sound. And I'll do that. And I'll do select. Oh, select. And we'll put in the effect again. Explosion. Got a few in here. Got car explosion. I feel like it needs to be quieter. I feel like it needs to be simpler. Oh, I've lost it now. That'll do. We'll see what that looks like. But this audio here will make it have spatialization and attenuation. We'll use some of my default ones I've already made. Natural attenuation, be fine there. What else am I playing? Change it to Android footsteps. Set sounds, set spark, explosion. Yep, yep, yep. Auto activate turn off. And on the event graph, I want to turn that to activate as well. So just drag in audio, plug that in as well, and they both get activated at the same time. Okay. It didn't explode with the sound of it though. Why didn't that play? Well, it's not the right one we want to use. Explosion. No, it was these ones down here, wasn't it? Explosion 2. Right. That should work in. Allow specialization. Attenuation. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that should be it. Why am I not hearing it? Is it because it's in the wall? Should be. No. Yeah, that's playing. So why is this one not playing? Oh wait, that's not the right one I'm looking at. That's spark. That's spark. Where's explosion? Spark, 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 explosion. That's fine, that's that one there. Explosion. Where? Confused, hang on. No, that one, where's that one coming from? That's a spark. That's a spark. That's a spark. That's a spark. Oh, it's because I overrode that one, didn't I? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Hang on. Explosion. There we go. There we go. Cool. I think that is looking cool as heck. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool to see in the game as a random event that happens, and that also like start fires, and that's why you would need like the fire extinguisher to help put the fires out. As you might be able to use certain devices because of the fires. But overall, looking pretty neat. So yeah, every room will have a fire extinguisher. Every room will have a terminal so I can access the computer stuff. Let's say you've got how many rooms I've got left to do? I've got one room there, got two vents, one room, and this room down here as well. So two rooms, two vents, and just clean up after that. And I mentioned last time the plan I'm going to do with this is I'm going to try and make each room its own pack level actor, because then I can give it certain coding to help with its power management when you want to turn on and turn off the power in individual rooms. Yeah, and also help with optimization because I can turn them off and on if I need to. If people are finding performance isn't great. But yeah, what do you guys think? Storage in a warehouse. I still think this is my favourite room, the greenhouse room. Yeah, let's turn on the texture streaming. In time, Rusty. Yeah, I've got to learn it myself yet. Yeah, definitely in time. Oh, here he comes. Ah! He got me. Yeah, the robot is meant to be like Mr. X type of character that's always pursuing people when they see them. There'll be like a number of them. There'll be probably 2 or 3 in the map. We'll see how it goes. VR could be a thing we could try and do. Obviously that's a we'll see how it goes. How to get the environment. The environment's actually made of like about 4 different packs. There's a 1 or 2 that are used more than the others. From the marketplace that I've purchased or was available for free from 1 month or another. Yeah, it's just made of and it's just kit bashed together using various things. So like this bit here is from one map, and this bit is from a different map. The panels are from a different map pack. This is from the Minerva pack from Kit Bash themselves. Yeah, there's a mixture of stuff. This is the plants are from Quixel on Bridge. Yeah, it's just a collection of random stuff. So I've bought like a handful of like different spaceship packs, and just bashed them all together to try and make something that looked okay. And say like there are some bits that don't go and don't fit perfectly, which is been okay. Like these bits weren't designed to have like corners like this, but it doesn't matter too much. You're not seeing this corner much in the game, if anything at all. So we're gonna get away with a lot of things like that. Same with the doors and how they're being used. Um, like these panels out here, the blinds. These are actually stairs that's been rotated around. They're just stairs, but they look like they could work as like metallic blinds. So that's what they're being used for. These are just wall pieces that I've just stuck on the side and made them bigger. Um, yeah, just doing stuff like that. And my approach to developing this map as well has been making the rooms like as if they were brand new, and then going and destroying them by putting in debris, broken bits, rubbish, blood, explosion damage, all those sort of things. Uh, how I've worked at it. Um, but yeah, and a few things I've had to edit, like especially like the Minerva ones and the Kit Bash ones for their collision. Their collision profiles were not correct and needed fixing, so I went in and fixed those. Yeah, coming along just fine, I think. This wall doesn't need to exist anymore. Get rid of that. But this is a vent I need to build. And I've got to put a roof on this one as well. I ain't done that yet. Yeah. Get rid of these walls. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this little look at Mick. Remember, if you want to see me do like tutorials on like how I did things like the stamina system and how like that, do the multi-bar trick, so it goes from one bar to the next bar to the next bar. I could do that. The volumetric fog, for example, that I made for the greenhouse room is already on Patreon website, and that'll be out soon for YouTube members. Maybe the next week or so. But yeah, we're getting there. And as I said, Patreon members will get access to a download where they can download and play the game and walk around the map and report back on performance. In that case, I'll be asking for people to provide their DX diags so I can see what their specs were, so I can work out what a minimum spec is required for this game to run. And also any feedback they want to adjust or say about the map and what they want to do to it. Obviously, nothing's final. It's all in development still. Everything could change. But I'm liking its direction so far. And I really like the solar flare effect so far. I think it's quite a nice little addition there. But there you go. That'll do for tonight. Thank you so much for everyone for coming by, and joining us live here, checking out Mimic. Hopefully you're excited to try it out yourself. And I say, very soon. We'll give people access to it and they'll be able to walk around it. Yeah, and I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel over on Patreon. Oh my god. And YouTube members. And thank you so much for the support over obviously the past few weeks whilst I've been in hospital with my son. He's doing okay. He's just done a physiotherapy session yesterday. He's got himself a little frame. He's very happy about his little frame to help him walk. But all was well so far there. So thank you so much, and have a good evening, and I'll talk to you all again soon next time. Bye-bye.